Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another bullet journal, reading journal plan with me. I'm super excited for this one because the theme for April, as you can kind of see already, is going to be Spider-Man. So this was actually inspired by my husband. So thank you, honey. I love you, even though he doesn't know yet that he inspired my April theme. He will find out. But anyway, so I decided for my cover page for April, I drew Spider-Man. And I thought this was going to be a lot harder to draw than it ended up being. I found on Pinterest and then just online in general, there's a lot of different tutorials out there on how to draw Spider-Man. And there's a lot of different step-by-step kind of pictures that I was able to find on how to draw Spider-Man. So it ended up, like I said, being a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So I decided to draw him just kind of swinging into the new month of April. And then on the opposite page, I'm writing in April, and I decided to do it in it looks kind of weird now. It'll look better once it's actually fully colored in, but it's supposed to be the font for Spider-Man, on the comics, the title Spider-Man. And then I decided to do a calendar for this month because I am wanting to try to participate in some of BookTube's different book clubs. So I thought it would make things a little bit easier if I can have a calendar that I can put when their live shows are, just to kind of keep track of all of those. So that's why I'm drawing a calendar. And then at the bottom, the little box at the bottom is just going to be a little notes section just for extra space if the little boxes on the calendar don't give me enough space to write in everything that I need to write in. And then I'm just taking my trusty eraser and erasing all of the pencil lines. And then drawing in on his little web, the webbing, I guess. And then this month I decided not to use my Art Journal acrylograph pens like I have been using for the past 3 months, just because I didn't really think they were really necessary for this month. I like them a little bit more when I'm doing more layering type work and artwork, or if I'm trying to make it look a little bit more realistic. I think I like them a little bit more, but since this is supposed to be based off of the comic, it's a 2D type image, I thought just using some Crayola markers would get the job done, and I'm pretty happy with them. I think it looks really good. And then also the past few months, the acrylograph pens have just been kind of finicky and just giving me problems. So I thought this would be so much easier and be a little bit less stressful for me. So now I'm just coloring in Spider-Man and then drawing in the tail end of the web. And then I'm going to color in the blue part, which I'm not 100% sure that the blue that I used on his suit is the correct shade of blue. I don't know. My husband will probably let me know, but I thought it was when I first started with it, and then looking back on it when it was fully covered in, I was like, I don't know if Spider-Man's blue is that blue. Whatever. And then I'm going to draw in I'm going to outline kind of his eyes, and then I'm going to draw in like the webbing bit. This one gave me a little bit of trouble at first, just trying to figure out, especially since he's not just like standing up straight, there's movement. So just trying to get the lines placed right on like his hands and his arm, so where it doesn't look weird. Took me a little bit. I had to have like some images open next to me while I was doing this on my like iPad, so I could get the like lines for that right. But otherwise, it wasn't too bad drawing Spider-Man. I was pretty happy with it. But yeah, anyway, so like I said, this theme is inspired by my husband. So I decided to do this because April is my husband's like birthday month. And then it is also our anniversary month. So a lot of things going on that have to do with my husband. And my husband is a really big comic book fan. He grew up on comic books, and his dad specifically is a huge Spider-Man fan and has a huge like Spider-Man collection. So Spider-Man's a pretty big deal for my husband, and his dad actually owned a comic book shop at one point. I don't think Spider-Man is his like end all be all favorite, number one like favorite superhero, but he is definitely 100% like top 5 for my husband. So I thought this would be a nice little like dedication shout out for my husband because he's great. And then I'm coloring in the April and then using like a red marker to, I guess that's called a drop shadow, maybe, on the letters to make it look like, because that is how the letters on like in a old like Spider-Man comic look. They're yellow letters with a red kind of background to them to make it look like Spider-Man. And then I decided to do the background of the Spider-Man page and then also the calendar page in this like sky blue kind of color. So now I'm just going to color all of that in. But yeah, we actually, when my husband and I got married, I had our like wedding cake person that made our cake. I had her make a groom's cake for my husband, and I had her make a cake looking like a stack of comic books, and the top comic was a pretty famous Spider-Man comic, and that's how she made it, the cake look. And it was actually when Spider-Man like gets married to Mary Jane, that was the top comic for the cake that I had her make, and it was really good. He was pretty happy about it. There we go. And then I'm just putting in all the days of April in my calendar. Now, on to the next page. And this page I'm really stoked about. I'm so excited about this page. This one is going to be my days read page. And how I decided to do this, so I'm drawing in Spider-Man's head. And then it's gonna look pretty weird, especially at first. And honestly, even when I get it mostly colored in, it still looks kind of weird. But I'm hoping that by the end of the month, when I have all of the days that I read like colored in, it should look like traditional Spider-Man. So I'm drawing in boxes, and the boxes are going to be like the red parts of his suit. And then like the in-between kind of spaces, I'm going to color in with black to be the webbing part. And the different boxes are going to be the days of the month. And again, so when I read a day, then I'm going to color in that specific box. And I really think by the end of the month, it's going to look so good. It should look, especially with how this year's gone so far, I haven't not read like a single day this year. But anyway, so by the end of the month, it should just look like Spider-Man, and all of the empty boxes should be filled in. But like I said, I'm pretty excited about this. I was inspired to do this. I found somebody had done this in their bullet journal, but more for like a mood tracker kind of thing. And they colored in the boxes like a certain color based on their mood on that day for the month. Anyway, I found that on Pinterest. If I can find like the person that did it and put that on Pinterest, I will try to link that below if I can. But anyway, that's where I find a lot of my inspiration for my bullet journals. And honestly, I mean, if you're wanting to get creative and you're needing inspiration, Pinterest is honestly the place to go. That's definitely the place that I go, that I get a lot of inspiration. I have a few different boards specifically for my bullet journals. Either other people's bullet journals I'll pin, or I also pin different like art, like drawings of certain images, or then sometimes I just pin like pretty images, like places or buildings that can sometimes inspire me. That's what I did for my February theme, where I had like the apothecary building. I looked up a bunch of different images of like old apothecaries or old kind of like shops to kind of inspire me. Yeah, so Spider-Man looks really weird. For whatever reason, when I look at this, I just think of pizza. Like the webbing just reminds me of different pizza slices for some reason. Or it also makes me think that he's like, I don't know, like in jail. Does anybody else kind of see what I'm talking about? I don't know. But then at the top, I'm writing in days read. Now, the lettering that I do for this month, I'm not the biggest fan of. Number one, I'm not the greatest at doing lettering anyway. But I don't know. I kind of got lazy with my lettering. But it's fine. And then the next page is going to be my attempt at drawing a spider, specifically the like Spider-Man logo spider. I think I did okay with this. And this page is going to be my like favorite books of the month and favorite quotes from books that I read this month. So what I do is whenever I read a book and I find a quote that I really like, I just go ahead and write it down here. And then at the end of the month, I figure out like, whatever my favorite book is or books. Usually it's more than one. And then I like print out the cover and I've been sticking them in on these pages, which I think will be really cool, something to kind of look back on at the end of the year or even years from now, just to kind of see what I read, what my favorites were. And this next one is going to be a pretty simple design page. I'm just going to draw a spider web, and this is going to be my anticipated releases for the month. So where I write down what books I'm most looking forward to coming out this month, and then also my stats page. So just all the stats of the books that I read, like the number of books, genres, that kind of thing. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what all kind of stats that I want to keep track of. It's kind of an ongoing kind of process. But then the next page, I'm just drawing in Spider-Man's like head and like top of his torso as the image for this page. And this is going to be my goals page. So I'm finding it being a little bit more helpful having a goals page each month to help me remind me of what my goals are, and just that way I can keep a little bit better track of, am I actually meeting my goals? And then I'm drawing in the little yellow, almost like lightning bolts, and those are honestly supposed to be like the Spidey sense. Since Spider-Man has like that as like a superpower, which always reminds me, did anybody ever play like the video game, like the Lego video games? There's like the superhero ones and they have Spider-Man, and that was one of his like powers, was that he had like Spidey sense, and any like Lego kind of area that you needed to use your Spidey sense for would like glow. I think it glowed like red or something. I don't know. That always just reminds me of playing that game. I played that with my husband. It was really fun. And then this page, I'm drawing in this like chart, like box thing. This is gonna be my YouTube like tracker kind of page, and I'm just drawing a bunch of webbing. I thought I would make this a little bit, I'm hoping this makes it easier for me with keeping track of like the videos that I want to do. I find that I've been having trouble with is I will film a video and then I'll completely forget about it and I won't edit it for like weeks. It's been a really bad habit of mine. Or I also forget to take dang thumbnail fit pictures. So I thought maybe this can help me keep track of that. Of like, if I have an idea, I'm going to write it down, and then, I'll check mark when I filmed it and when I've taken the thumbnail for it and edited it, blah, 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 and when I've posted it. So then I can like knock that one off my list. Hopefully this helps me. And then this one is going to be the last page. I haven't done as many of my usual pages. Like I didn't do my like books hauled page just because I've been hauling so many books. I need to get a better grasp of that and try to like rein it in. but it's been too much to try to keep track of all the books that I've bought, so I decided not to do that this month. And then this one is going to be my brain dump page, and I just drew Spider-Man, hanging out. And I do 2 pages, but this time I decided to just do 1 because last month I actually didn't use my brain dump page as much as I had been. So I'm only going to do 1 for now. And then if I end up needing to do like another page and I use all of it up, I can always just put in another page. That's kind of what I do if I run out of room or I need more space. I've just been taking a page out of my art journal of like notepad, and then I just kind of glue it in. So like I said, if I need more space for my brain dump kind of stuff, I can always just do that, and it's not a big deal. And then I'm just writing in the title, Brain Dump, which I decided to do at the bottom since Spider-Man's head and brain are at the bottom. I don't know. It made sense in my head when I was doing it. But yeah, and this is going to be my last spread for my April bullet journal. So now we get to the final flip through. I'm super excited. I'm really happy about this. It's super bright and colorful. But I hope you all enjoyed watching. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for all kinds of bookish content. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Thanks!